Yo, what's happening, people? This is your Arsenal versus Wolves match preview for the match on Saturday, 3 o'clock kickoff. But before we get into that, I'm just going to start with the breaking news that will come out tonight. Granit Xhaka has put out a statement after sort of the controversy that surrounded him last week Sunday. Basically, just addressing the situation. And maybe a statement we thought we were going to get maybe Sunday evening, maybe Monday morning, maybe Tuesday or Wednesday, but it came on Thursday, the 31st of October. Basically, it said, after taking some time to reflect on what happened on Sunday afternoon, I would like to give you an explanation rather than a quick response. The scenes that took place around my substitution have moved me deeply. I love this club and always give 100% on and off the pitch. My feeling of not being understood by fans and repeated abusive comments at matches and in social media over the last weeks and months have hurt me deeply. People have said things like, we will break your legs, we will kill your wife, and I wish that your daughter gets cancer. That has stirred me up, and I reached a boiling point when I felt the rejection in the stadium on Sunday. In this situation, I let myself be carried away, and I reacted in a way that disrespected the group of fans that supported our club, our team, and myself with positive energy. That has not been my intention, and I'm sorry for what people thought. My wish is that we get back to a place of mutual respect and remembering why we fell in love with this game in the first place. Let's all move forward positively together, Granit. I hear what he's saying. And I have to start by saying we're all human, innit? And no one likes to be abused. No one likes to be made comments at. Unfortunately, this is what comes with the being famous, being a celebrity. A lot of people are talking about mental health this past year. So there's a lot of talk about whether it's right, whether it's wrong, whether people should be reacting to things other people are saying online. But at the end of the day, it's still abuse, and it's still going to hurt a man's feelings if you're reading comments like that. If you're reading comments like, we're going to break your legs and we're going to kill your wife, or offending any of your family members, you're gonna be stood up in some sort of way, especially when it's your own fans, the people that are supposed to be supporting you. And so I fully understand him feeling a type of way towards people. We've seen it. How many times this season we've seen men are getting racially abused? Some by their own fans, some by opposition fans. So, like, I'm not talking just in here, but all over the world. Some by opposition fans, and some just from the general public. Actually, a lot of the abuse online for the racial stuff happened when their own fans abused their own players for missing penalties or whatever. It happens. And it shouldn't happen. It should never happen. I condemn anyone that says anything about anyone. But, and there is a but, there is a standard that you have to hold as a captain of a football club and as a player at that level. And it's easy for me to say you're getting paid a certain amount, so you got to be rare to. But it's there's a level you have to hold yourself at. And unfortunately, it's certain individuals in the crowd and in Arsenal fans or all over. Everyone has these fans that are horrible fans and that will make abuse. Some that I wouldn't even call fans. I wouldn't even call them fans. They're just people that are just horrible about horrible players. We saw it last season with Mustafi, scapegoating people. It's okay to say, I don't agree with your behaviour. It's okay to say, I don't agree with you how you performed today. It's okay to criticise a man for playing bad. And I think a lot of fans were doing, it kind of started off of Xhaka, you're playing bad. Xhaka, you're giving away penalty kicks. You're being stupid. Sort it out. And then it became an abusive thing. And that's for me where it crossed the line. But unfortunately, Xhaka, you've got to hold yourself in a way where that doesn't spill over onto the pitch. Now, the problem with that statement is that there wasn't really an apology and an acceptance that you done wrong. There was no mention of it. There was no mention of what happened in terms of it. We just kind of skated over, and the sorry came. And I don't want to rip the guy because I understand he's been through a lot in this week, and it's not me attacking him, but the apology was for what people thought about his intention of what happened, rather than actually apologising to the fans for it. And I'm not surprised, because I thought, if you're going to take this long to reply, you're probably not going to just hold your hands up and say it's my fault and I'm sorry. Where I feel like you should have done. At least just to hold yourself in a certain level. But like I said, I'm not going to grill him for that. That's his personal opinion. That's his situation. I still feel like he should be stripped to the captaincy, but I don't feel like it will happen. I don't know. I just feel like he's gonna continue his captaincy. I don't know. Um, yeah, and I guess that leads us into the Wolves game. What's going to happen on Saturday, because Emery's got a decision to make, and we're at the Emirates. It's a 3:00 kickoff. We don't usually get them on a Saturday, especially with the Europa League around. So I would say that the team and Emery have to make a decision. Well, it's obviously going to be more on Emery, but the team is going to have to try and now support their player through this, but not necessarily agree with him being the captain. But yeah, it's Emery's choice, and we'll see what happens. I don't think he will play a part this weekend. I think he will be. I can easily see him not playing until at least after the international break, which is in a couple of weeks' time, just to let the dust settle. I don't know if he'll go away with Switzerland. I don't know if he'll go away to. I don't know if he'll get called up or whatever. But I think at least after the international break, I don't think we'll be seeing Xhaka. After that, like I said, I think he'll come back into the team, maybe even as captain. We'll have to wait and see. But yeah, let me get into the team now and the match preview quickly. Arsenal versus Wolves. Tough game, man. Especially on the back of a tough season for Wolves and Arsenal, not having the best start to the season, both teams. Wolves, of course, we kind of expected this because of their involvement in Europa League, playing Thursday, Sunday, when you're not used to it. Is a very different experience, especially when your squad isn't that big like other squads are, and also you're playing against tough teams in Europa League because you're not used to being in that competition. So you're third, fourth seed draw. So every game is a madness, and every game is a big challenge and a big step up to play. And then you got to come to the Premier League on a Sunday and put that same energy in. Luckily, this week they got to play in the League Cup, so a lot of their players got arrested. They did lose. I think they lost Aston Villa, I think. Yeah. So, but yeah, it was a weakened team, and they went out of the cup. Arsenal, on the other hand, well, I told you a lot about that the other day. Poor performance against Liverpool defensively, great attackingly, and disappointed to go out of the cup. But we move on, innit? We move on, it happens. So, yeah, let's get into this. I think Emery will go again with a 4-2-3-1. I feel like it worked against Liverpool in stages, and I feel like if it's going to get the best out of our players that I believe should be starting on Saturday, then I think 4-2-3-1 is the way to go. So I'm going to give it a team. Leno in goal. I want Bellerin to come back in at right back. I think he's done quite well against Liverpool. And I just want to see how it works with him and Pepe on the wing in front of him. So, yeah, I would hope Bellerin comes back in. I think it showed a little bit on... Everyone was talking about how good Holding is. He's going to come and change the game when he comes back in. I don't think he played well against Liverpool. A few mistakes in there. So I wouldn't actually put him straight back in a team. If anything, I'm probably more inclined to go with Chambers, he's been playing the season. But I'm actually going to go with Socrates and Louise at centre-back. And then I'm going to go with Tierney at left-back. Kolasinac did okay. I think he came off injured as well. And so, yeah, I don't expect him to start. But don't be surprised if Chambers did start at right-back, though, because he didn't travel up to Liverpool. So I think Emery was resting for something. But we'll wait and see. In the middle, I thought Torreira done quite well. So I'm going to put him in there with Guendouzi, who's, by far going on leaps and bounds this season already. So, yeah, him and Torreira in the middle. And then I'm going to go, with a 4-2-3-1. So on the right-hand side, I'm going to put Pepe back in. He did travel to Liverpool, but didn't get used. Was on unused sub. I'm going to put him back in. I'm going to put Mesut Ozil back in the squad. My boy's free. Antat Mesut, you free him. He's free. He's come home and he came home with a bang. He came home popping champagne because the football he played against Liverpool was beautiful. And I'm so glad that in that one game, we just got to see how good he was, that he didn't just go missing for everyone to say how he brought him back and he's done nothing, so that's what you're moaning for. Well, no, the man's quality, innit? So even if he goes 2-3 games without doing much, he shows what the quality he has. It's now up to us to try and get the best out of him on a consistent basis, especially with some of our other options in that space, with like Ramsey and Iwobi have left the club. So there's a little bit of a gap for him to take up. I know Danny Ceballos is there as well, but there's an opportunity there for him if he can actually get games to keep a spot in the Arsenal team. On the left-hand side, I'm actually going to go with Martinelli. I thought he was brilliant against Liverpool. Again, just getting in the box and getting the goals as a pure striker. I know I'm putting him on the left wing, but I just feel like he needs an opportunity now to play some games. And unfortunately, we got one of the best strikers in the Premier League playing ahead of him up top, so he can't always get that spot in the middle. Maybe this is an opportunity to take his chances on the wing. Try it. He's hand at it. He's played in the wing in Brazil before he came to Arsenal. So we'll see what happens there, man. I would like to give him a chance up there after he played so well against Liverpool. And then I'd have Aubameyang up top with Lacazette on the bench. I think, yeah, the man is brilliant. Well, Aubameyang, one of the best strikers in the world football, let alone the Premier League. So yeah, he's got to start up top for me, and Laka to come on. And I'm only saying this as well because I thought Aubameyang was poor in the last game week against Palace out wide. I feel like we didn't see the best out of him, and it's unfortunate because of the way we're playing at the moment. We're not seeing the best out of him out wide. So yeah, I'd like to see what happens if he goes back up top, if he gets some goals, and then after that, Emery's got a decision to make on how he puts the team out going forward. Do we have to go back to leaving one of them on the bench? Do we go for the 4-4-2 diamond? Do we go 5-3-2? Do we, you know what I mean? How do we fit them into that Lacazette and Orbs play together in the Arsenal system? Obviously, that's one for Emery to work out on it. But, guys, listen, thanks for watching. In terms of the result, I'm going to go with a draw. I'm going to go with a 2-2. I'm going to go with a 2-2 draw because I know, say, Arsenal defence ain't great, and I know, say, Wolves is just Wolves, innit? So we never know what we're going to get with them as well this season. So they done beat City already, innit? So, yeah, we'll see, innit? I'm going to go for a draw. But, of course, I want Arsenal to win. We'll see what happens, innit? Muzet free, Xhaka opened up. Been a big week for Arsenal. Been a very, very big week. See you next week.